Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another and the last episode of League of Primos weekly review, which yes, we have called all season Lopwar. This is the final one of the season, guys. I do apologize for being so late. I've been moving to Alabama. As you can see, I am inside the Fox household right now. But yeah, let's just get over all the games we have, and then we can finally go over the championship. The first one we're going to do, we're all doing the consolation bracket. I picked Taxes got a bye. He finished last place in the entire league, 14th. 6-8 finish in the regular season, but finished in last place. Gets us into our 12th place game. Banditos played the Big Tree City Big Bears. Big Bears got 35 from Devontae Smith, 29.2 from Lamar, 14.1 from Calvin Ridley. Brandon got 30.9 from Michael Pittman, 29.7 from Mike Evans, and 16.8 from Donald. This is a close game decided by 11 points, but Banditos takes the win, 148.92 to 137.72, finishing in 12th place, and Nick finishes 13th. We then have our 10th place game, Red Lobster Cheddar Biscuits versus Tayvat Tanks. Tayvat got 38.7 from Jaden Daniels, 15.6 from Marvin Harrison, and then 10.6 from Charbonnet, which was basically all the scoring, as Red Lobster got 20 from Amir St. Brown, Amon-Ra, wow, I'm sorry. 24.2 from Kittle, and a whopping 46.98 from Joseph Lee Burrow, who I think deserves NFL MVP. Winning this one, 148.88 to 84.18. Tayvat finished 11th place, and Cheddar Biscuits in 10th place. What do you get this? I think they agree. We then have the Consolation Championship game. Lauren versus Kevin. Winner gets next year's first overall pick. Loser gets nothing, maybe. Kevin got 17 from Bryce Young, 18.4 from Laporta, and a solid 33 points from Adam Thielen. What do you think about that? Again. And then it appears that Lauren fell apart, only getting 22.4 from Kelsey as the biggest score. And then Kristen's day just wasn't that good for her, but she fell short, losing 105.82 to 75.78. Lauren finishes 9th place. Kevin wins the consolation bracket and gets next year's first overall pick. I am somewhat considering getting Lauren the second pick because she did beat Kevin in the first round of the consolation bracket. So again, I have no idea why there was a rematch in the consolation. What do you think about that? But we'll see what everybody else thinks. Again, remember that the winner of the consolation gets the first overall pick and everybody else is randomly generated. So yes, that means the champion of this year could possibly get the second or third pick depending on how generous we're feeling this year. That's going to get us into our championship game. Bin Laden's Bombers finishes in 7th place. They got a bye. Don't know why they got 7th considering I lost in the first round. But again, I'm not going to be complaining for this one. This gets us into our 5th place game. I put the Trash Pandas versus the Abe Lincoln Rusty Trombones. This game was an absolute blowout, but Abe Lincoln got good scoring, 33.3 from Jamar Gibbs, 24.2 from Jamar Chase, and 22.6 from Drake London. Trash Pandas, 22.9 from Xavier Worthy, 31 from Patty Mahomes, and a nice 43.1 from Malik Neighbors. Trash Pandas winning this one 168.2 to 114.2. Abe Lincoln's in 6th place, and Trash Pandas finishing in 5th. That's right, baby. Top 5. Let's go. This gets us into our first of the podium games. El Hamburglar versus Hogwarts Wizards for the 3rd place bragging rights. Hogwarts Wizards coming off their worst game of the year last week, which was not the time to have it in the semifinals. They got 20 from the Eagles defense, 22.98 from Haley Steinfeld's fiance, and then whopping 35.8 from Trey McBride. Daniel, who was the league's second highest scorer, got 29.78 from Darnold, 25.2 from Eagles legend Zachary Ertz, and 17.2 from Jay Jetta Justin Jefferson. This just wasn't enough, though, as Allison finishes in 3rd place. Last game of the year, obviously, Allison had to be Allison, winning 155.18 to 117.08. Allison finishes on the podium for the 4th straight year, and Daniel gets 4th place. That's going to bring it into the moment we have all been waiting for, the climax to our season, the League of Primos Championship game. Both teams looking for their first ever League of Primos Championship. Kevin James Hot did not start off that way, to be fair. They only got 5.9 from Mixon and -1 from Houston's D on Christmas Day. They then only got 6.2 points from Smith and Jigba in Thursday night game. However, Jack Sparrow only got 5.1 from Zay Flowers on his Christmas Day game with 2 catches for 20 yards getting taken away for penalties. Then we go to our Saturday slate. Chargers versus Patriots was huge because Kevin James Hott actually ended up getting a whopping 17 points from Cameron Dicker, the kicker. And then we go into our Bengals versus Broncos game, which was super important. Kevin James had T. Higgins and Jack Sparrow had Will Lutz. Will Lutz scored 6 points, which is decent scoring. And then T. Higgins had 24 points in the fourth quarter. However, the Bengals were up by 7 with 10 seconds left. Bo Nix threw a touchdown pass to Marvin Mims to send it to overtime, and T. Higgins would take away opportunity with that. It was huge for Kevin James Hott. He had 4 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown in overtime alone. This got him over his 100-yard mark bonus for the game. And T. Higgins finished with 45.1 points because of that. Yes, adding a whopping 20-plus points just in the overtime period. Sunday, Jack Sparrow needed some help from his team. He got 34.6 from Jonathan Taylor and then 23 from Jalen McMillan, which was nice. But Dylan had Baker Mayfield, who was throwing those touchdown passes to Jalen McMillan, who he finished with a whopping, 39.56 points for them. The later slate had Browns versus Dolphins. Christian has Jerry Jeudy and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek got 24.5. Jerry Jeudy got 21.4, which would help out tremendously in the championship game. However, it does not help you out when you bench both players in place for backup Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end Payne Durham. Yes, Christian felt the pain for this one, and he will be thinking about this probably for the entirety of the year. Payne Durham only got 11.6 points. However, again, as being a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, his points came with some Baker Mayfield points, which doesn't really give you that much of a difference. So Dylan went in with a 65-point lead with all of his players done playing, which left Bijan Robinson's Sunday night game and then Brock Purdy Monday night game to make up for that score. At that point, he only had a 1% chance of winning according to ESPN. However, he would get an amazing first half from Bijan, about 85 rushing yards and a touchdown, and he would need about 50-ish yards for his bonus points for 100-plus yards rushing. However, he did not get that in the fourth quarter. But the Falcons sent that game into overtime against the Commanders, which remember how huge overtime was for T. Higgins. However, the Commanders won the coin toss and then got a touchdown on that first drive, which means Bijan did not get a chance to touch the ball in overtime, got 0 extra points. This left Brock Purdy with 37.78 points to win the championship game. Almost impossible. But Brock Purdy came out hot against the Lions defense. Their first half, he had over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He only needed 17 points to win it. He then got his 300-yard bonus and was about 7 points away from the lead at that point. However, Brock Purdy threw a crucial pick and it was 9 points away. However, he was still playing well for the remainder of the game. He got within 2 points of the lead, but then he threw another crucial pick to the Lions, bumping him back to about 4 points there. But then the Lions scored and gave the Niners the ball. Brock Purdy was throwing the ball down the field, doing nice on that last drive. He only needed about 21 more passing yards to get the 400-yard bonus, which would give him the win. Or if he scored a touchdown, that would also give him the win. It was a tight score. I was on the edge of my seat. Christian was down by only a little over 2 points. The Niners were marching down the field, 40 yards away from the end zone. And the Lions sacked Brock Purdy, landed on his hand, injured Brock Purdy, which ended the comeback. Went a very anticlimactic way to win the season there. It was a 2.08 point differential. But Dylan hoists his title belt this year and wins this one 174.76 to 172.68 and becomes our 2024 League of Primos champion. So congratulations, Dylan. You are in first place. I guess we can do your touchdown dance? Now dance, now dance, go now dance, dance, now dance, now dance, go now dance. We're going to get into the last thing for us. I'm just going to take a trip down memory lane here. We're going to go over the power rankings that we started the year off with, what we were projected to do versus how we finished this year. 14-1 like always. 14th, I paid my taxes. So we got 14th. They started off the season as 12th. 13th was Big Sweet Trinity Big Bears, who started off as 6th, which was a huge drop, 7 there. 12th is Banditos, who started off at 10th. 11th, Tevat Tank started off at 3rd. So that was the biggest drop, but Bonbon never did his lineup, so how much are we really putting into that? At 10th was the Red Lobster Cheddar Biscuits, but they started off as 2nd, which was be tied for the biggest drop. 9th was Lauren, but she started off at 14th, which is a very commendable season. I mean, she was 1 game away from the playoffs after starting off 0-4 this season. 8th was Kevin, who started off at 8th, so not a huge jump there, obviously, but a good prediction. We then have 7th was Bin Laden Bombers, who started off as 13th, a great jump there. 6th was Abe Lincoln, who started off at 9th, so again, a pretty good jump. 5th was Trash Pandas, who started off as 5th as the Clean Jumpty Dumpty, so another perfect prediction from ESPN there. El Hamburglar at 4th. They started off at 7th. We had the Hogwarts Wizards, who started off ranked 1st, but they were in 3rd by the end of the year. 2nd place, Jack Sparrow's tight ends, who started off at 4th. And then our champion, Kevin James Hott, who actually ended up being the one who jumped the highest from the preseason rankings. Kevin James Hott started the season, predicted 11th place in our rankings in the preseason, and jumped 10 places, grabbing the title belt. What a fantastic season. And I really just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for joining me this season. I really hope you enjoyed the league, whether you're a first-time player, whether you played a long amount of time. I hope week in, week out, I made this enjoyable for you guys. I really hope to see you all back here next year. I also want to expand as well, so invite your friends if you think you have anybody who wants to play. With that, there'll need to be some rule changes, some roster changes, probably shrinking, getting rid of a flex. And the group chat is always going to be open for everybody. So I want to let you know that, if you guys ever just want to talk in the group chat, just have fun. We're always open to that. And then also, if you want any league changes, any rules you think should be implemented, scoring, and we're going to change, if we get more people, change to 4 people for 4 divisions, stuff like that. I'm always open to that. We can always vote on that. But we are not done just quite yet, because keep in tune for it in the next several weeks. We have the League of Primos end of season awards. Always fun to go over some random awards that don't really make any sense. But again, just thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I really hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to doing this next year with everybody in Lockboard fashion. How about we end this with a song?
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. In all the years, no one knows just how hard you worked, but now it shows. In one shining moment, it's all on the line. In one shining moment, they're frozen in time. But time is short and the road is long. In the blinking of an eye, that moment's gone. And when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best, 'cause inside you knew that in one shining moment you reached deep inside. One shining moment you knew you were alive. Feel the beat of your heart, feel the wind in your face. It's more than a contest, it's more than a race. Win or lose, you always did your best, 'cause inside you knew. In one shining moment, you reached for the sky. In one shining moment, you knew. Yeah. In one shining moment, you're willing to try. In one shining moment, you knew. One shining